comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Welcome, sinners. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome in. Today is another day of March Madness. It is Thursday, March 27th, and this is Sports Idiot Nation episode. TI's favorite number is our
69 dudes.
Boom.
Nice.
Sports Idiot Nation comes at you every Monday and Thursday. The weekly recap show. Sports,
That's right.
comedy.
Almost just like a Monday and a Thursday, almost like a 69, you know?
Kind of like a synergy,
It's like a sandwich. It's like a
I was about to say a sports sandwich for your week.
It's a center sandwich.
that a woman makes us.
That's right. Ain't no sandwich when she's gone.
We're trying to make an episode that Memphis J's kids can be proud of since they are in this episode.
Yes.
So I was trying to be as terrible as possible. See, kids,
They
this is
can't
the
hear
show
us
I was in.
They're like, hey, can you guys be quiet? I'm trying to get caught up on Severance over here.
Right?
All right. Well, speaking of getting caught up, let's get people caught up on these Sweet 16 matchups, man.
Let's do it. So today
there's
we're going to go
16
through
teams, and I think there's 17 of them are from the SEC.
right. Which
Anybody going through March Madness withdrawals? I know TI was on Monday there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the same. It's just regular March when the basketball's not on the TV, you know?
Right.
You have to just result to the NBA, which is fine. NBA is good. We love
Right.
the NBA, but there's just nothing like
not
like
if
March
Steph
Madness.
Curry's hurt, then it's no good.
Yeah, there's just nothing like March Madness. I think it's the best overall. I mean, Super Bowl's great. We all love the Super Bowl, but everybody gets into March Madness. People that don't even watch sports, they fill out brackets. Their office filling out brackets. They do it. It's fun. Everybody, most people's work is just like whatever. We're not going to get much productivity these next 2 weeks, so run with it. I know my work put out a memo. They were like, hey, we're going to have all the games on in the break room. Feel free to bring your laptop, work, have fun, enjoy the games. Yeah, they were like, they know. They're like,
They heard you're an Auburn fan.
No, they're like, hey, we know that most everybody's probably going to try to work from home anyway and not get any work done. So we're going to encourage them to come to the office. That way they get some work done, you know. I mean, I, for one, know that last Thursday I got a lot of work done from 11:15 on.
Yeah.
On my bracket. A lot of work looking at my bracket and cussing. But
Yeah,
everyone.
me too.
All right. Well, anyway, so
we're going to break
who we
down.
got first?
So first we have BYU and Alabama, and it's almost unfair, as none of us here are Alabama fans. It is unfair that they are pretty good, you know, especially in the last decade at football, and they have been the number one team at one point. They are the 2 seed now,
they've
so
been
they're obviously not a 1.
They've been to the Sweet 16 like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they have been impressive in the basketball world the last couple of years. At least, you know, having a number next to their name impressive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of basketball teams. Not all of them have numbers next to them, you know?
So
It's true.
BYU, I don't think any of us had making it to the Sweet 16.
I did not. No,
they are the. They're not.
I didn't have Alabama this far, or no, maybe I did.
They're not a true Cinderella, but they are the Cinderella at this point. In this round of 16,
they were third in the Big 12, so they did not make waves or anything. I mean, they are now
third in the Big 12,
26-9, which is no, you know, they're not scrubs, but
no, they don't want scrubs.
They lost to Ole Miss, who is in the Sweet 16. We'll get to them later. They lost by about 20 to Providence. They lost to Houston by 97 billion points.
Does Providence still have that dude that shot all the threes in the tournament?
They did beat Texas Tech by 5, but then they turn around 4 days later and lose to TCU. So it's like, okay, what's their identity? They lost to Cincinnati. They beat them, then they lost by 20 just last month. In February, they lost to them. So it's very weird. BYU it's very, very weird kind of situation, you know?
I mean, I got to go with Bama. Bama looks good. They're SEC battle tested. You know, the scrubs in the SEC are still, teams you don't really want to face on a regular night. And I just don't know if the Brigham Young Mormon Cougars are ready for that. But on the flip side, James Madison did give Alabama a little fight that opening game. So anything can happen. But I feel like at this point, all the teams tighten up. You know, they're looking at film. They're looking at everything. And they're just like, this is what we did good. This is what we did bad. We're going to focus on all the bad. We're going to fix it because I mean, it's at this point it's go time. You know, you can stumble those first two games and still make it out alive. But if Bama, starts off slow, and BYU jumps out to a 12-2 lead or something, I mean, they could very well lose the game. So we'll see. But my gut says Bama's got that one.
I like Nate Oates. Memphis J, you got Bama?
Yeah, I just pulled up my bracket because after it started getting busted that first day, I zoned out. But no, I did have Alabama. I thought they were going to be playing VCU, but I had Alabama taking that one. I thought VCU was going to beat Alabama if they were in there, but I would take Alabama over BYU at this point. The battle of the letters confused me.
Right,
I didn't make it past that.
The more important question though is mascots.
Yep.
True.
So
Roll Tide.
We have either I'm not sure. Either it's a red ocean or it's an elephant. I don't know. They have an identity crisis, sort of like their brethren of the state, my Auburn Tigers. But if we're going with the elephant and a cougar, is this like a 40, 45, 50-year-old cougar in the bar with a martini? Or is this like...
No.
Yeah.
Dude, she's Mormon.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're
no.
Right. So I don't know, man. I think that not only I think this Alabama win the court, but I think they win the mascot challenge. I think the elephant will stomp the cougar, or the ocean will drown the cougar. I mean, cougar's not going to swim the entire ocean.
Yeah, and unless it's like in a place with no containment, eventually the elephant's going to step in on it. Like it's not going to get away forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also they won't they won't have much energy because she can't have caffeine. So she's not going to have the energy to be in this battle. So
hey, now don't start bringing science into this. We didn't do our homework.
Science and religion. That's the podcast.
I was going to say there's not a lot of science going on at BYU, but we can roll with it if we want. But.
All right, so we move on to the next game. Is Maryland and Florida, and Maryland, as we know, should not be there because homeboy traveled.
Oh, well.
Dun, dun, dun.
I did not see that. But,
I saw the replay of it. He did. It didn't get called in the moment, and that's kind of how all the media is treating it. It is what it is. The call's done. He made, for what it is, he traveled and then he made the shot. Is that correct, Adam?
Right.
So if he'd gotten called, then, they took the shot away, I guess
turnover.
It'd be a different story.
You could say he was getting fouled, too. And it was still an amazing shot. For this dude who, his last name is Queen, he is the Dairy Queen. That dude's got moves for as big as he is. And he's a freshman.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was learning to tie my shoelaces when I was a freshman in college, so I got to give this guy props. But, bro, you traveled. I'm just saying. So,
yeah.
Who you got?
Well, he's the box score says differently. So,
and the refs did too.
Yeah. So, who do I have in this? I have the Florida Gators. I think. Outside of Duke and Auburn, I think Florida has the best shot to win the national championship. I would say that maybe Florida even has a better shot to win the championship over Duke or Auburn, and especially the fact that they just knocked off UConn in kind of like a little I wouldn't say sketchy way, but there's some controversy behind it. So I feel like that was a big mental test for them, back-to-back champions. Whether UConn is up to par of the past teams or not, they're still the defending champs on the other end of the court, and it's an intimidation factor. So I think they've already went through the SEC gauntlet. They've had a tough schedule. They've already, took out the defending champs. I think I got it wrong with Florida in this one. I think Maryland's little Cinderella slipper falls off, and they actually do get called for traveling, and they do not move on.
And they travel home.
They travel home. They travel home. It will be very slow. They are a turtle, so it will be very slow travel home. But they win, though. They did beat the Hare in the story. So
maybe Scott Van Pelt can pick him up and bring him home. He's a huge
Scott Van Pelt. Yeah, that would be the only good thing about Maryland winning. Would be that he, because he's a good dude.
Are we on mascots? Did we pass the Gator versus Terps?
No, we're still talking about who's gonna win the game. I said the Florida Gators gonna win the game. Yep,
no,
Florida Gators.
But we're on it now.
We are. We're on it. We're always.
I'm going Florida with you two in both of these real life basketball matchup and animal versus animal.
There, you can Google and look at gators like eating turtles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Definitely. Yeah. This is a real life, a probable, and we could see it happening in real life.
Alligator. It's a very intense race though. Alligator and a turtle, right? It's like, like eventually the alligator catches up because it just has a longer body, picks up more space with each move, so eventually it just catches it and eats it, right? So
anyway, Duke and Arizona. I'm moving right along.
People have tuned in.
That's enough idiocy.
People have tuned in for our animal knowledge as well as our science.
Yes.
Expert animal analysis.
The Fighting Cooper Flags out of Carolina.
The Blue Devils versus who? Who did they play again? They play
Arizona.
Arizona Wildcats. Oh man, talk about that is a matchup from the 90s if I've ever heard it.
Now, here's the thing. I like Love from Arizona, or should I say from North Carolina. Okay. Because that's where he started, and they played UCLA and he went off. That's how I know that dude. And he in the tournament, like sometimes you just got to have dudes. And I get that Duke has Cooper Flag, the dude, and the dude abides, but that's where Arizona has a chance.
Yeah, but they got that other dude too. They got the Trey. What's his name? Is it Trey? Trey something?
I'm the dude. You're the dude.
I mean, bro hit 7 threes in the last game of the day, man. He was just lights out. What's his name? I don't know. Starts with the T. We're sports experts. He has a
face, right?
Yes, he has a face, 2 eyes, nose. Eats food to survive. One of those kind of people.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Duke has a team.
I'm going Duke by over 15.
It's over Tyrese 15. Proctor, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy.
I said Tyrell, Tyrone, Tyrese.
You better call on Tyrone.
Yeah, you better call Tyrone.
I don't know. I haven't checked the number line or anything. I don't really bet. I'm just calling out random numbers 15, like an idiot would.
I like it. 15. I have to go with Duke big. They're just demolishing folks. They don't even need to have a big game from Cooper Flag, and he still just controls everything. He's such a facilitator. He touches the ball on every play, whether it's assist, whether it's rebound, whether it's setting up the play, whether it's running point. The game of the night, he was running point and just coming straight down the court and just hammering on people's heads,
Yeah.
He's good. He's good. Now, he's going to enjoy being a Washington Wizard.
A Wildcat will eat a Blue Devil for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and twice on Sunday.
What is a Blue Devil? Is it a real?
Blue Devil is not as intimidating as a Red Devil.
Okay.
So I gotta agree. I think, the mascot Wildcat. War, the Blue Devil gets eaten by the Wildcat.
Pretty easily.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. So
the final
Duke wins
game
on the hardwood, but they die in the woods.
in the woods.
Yep.
Mhm.
In the game of
So
life, gone.
the final game tonight is Arkansas and Texas Tech, and here's the game that I think for this for today. I think the games tomorrow's we'll get into here in a couple minutes are way better, but this is the game because no one believes that Arkansas is
right?
truly a 10. They just don't. Now, they are 22-13, which is good enough for a 10 seed. But
Mhm.
I just think and they did start like 0-5, and there was some panic in Razorback
Mhm.
Nation or whatever they call themselves. But I mean, it's John Calipari, dude. I mean, he's
Yeah, that's
shown
it. You got a legendary coach with a chip on his shoulder into the final 16 of the tournament.
Yeah.
I would not want to coach against that guy at all. A guy that's been there, a guy that's won, a guy that's lost, a guy that has been ushered out the door by a prestigious university and kind of cast aside while Arkansas just backed up the Brinks truck to his house, you know? So, yeah, he's got really nothing to prove and nothing to lose and everything to gain. So that's not the guy you want to coach against at all.
So, looking at Texas Tech, they've lost to teams like St. Joseph's. They've lost to University of Central Florida. They lost
Powerhouse.
to Texas A&M.
Mine
They're not
is.
world beaters. They're 27-8. Not bad at all. Good enough for second in the Big 12.
Man, the
But
MTSU fan in me hates UCF. Go ahead, sorry.
and
Random.
here's a story for you guys for Arkansas. They have a player by the name of Jonell Davis, and he is number 1 not only in your hearts but on your program.
Right.
So watch out for him. This kid,
He's been playing his butt off this tournament. I saw him a couple of those
Yep.
games. His name is like a road in Nashville, so I kept being like, "What are they saying?" I used to work off that road. But yeah, then I realized it wasn't an L,
Is that the
like a
road with
middle
the?
initial.
Is that the road with
It's
the potholes
John
on
L.
it? Is that the road with the
Yeah,
potholes
yeah,
on it?
it's like right by
Mm,
church, and it's
okay.
it's one of those interstate exits, John L. Davis
Because
Boulevard or something.
every road in Nashville has potholes
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
So.
right in there. About this time, end of winter, yeah, everywhere in the city.
So here is a
Drive my
story.
car like this just to avoid all the potholes.
That does make sense. I feel like you would drive that way anyway. Now, here is a story.
Hold on, kids.
Waka waka. We're going to soccer practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta make you a better soccer
Hold
player.
your balls, boys.
No,
Coach
now
Jonathan's been drinking.
this is a good story about Nelly, as we call him, and I'll tell you why.
Like
So
Band-Aid Nelly? Like E-I-E-I-O.
exactly one and the same. Exactly.
That guy, yeah.
So
down,
back
baby. Dun,
a few
dun, dun,
years
dun,
ago,
dun.
we've talked about on this very program, we have talked about Malik Williams and Bam, some other players who have either made it to the NBA or in the combine. Well, I had a chance to
Bronny
coach.
James.
Yeah, I coached Bronny James. Yeah, I know.
Well, somebody needs to.
Hey, he
Hey, he
dropped
had
39
another
in the
good
G
game,
League.
I think, but it was back in the
Him
G
and
League.
Drew-
But he had
him and-
another good game.
It's a
He
39.
put some numbers together.
39 in the G League is like a 4 in the regular
Right.
league.
It's
Come
not
on,
even
man.
17 points in the NBA.
Come on. I mean,
So-
what did Cam Spencer dump, like 61 that night for the Grizz? Like, like 13 threes or something. Like, I ain't trying. Pump the brakes, Bronny James. Anyway, this ain't the Bronny James show.
Right. So back a few years ago, Nelly Davis from South Bend and played for the same AAU team as Jaden Ivey, who is injured but with the Detroit Pistons and played at Purdue.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to help coach that AAU team when they were like sophomores in high school. And
Cool.
I had the honor of having to pick him up in South Bend, retrieve him, and take him to a tournament. And I'm driving in South Bend, I keep saying South Bend. It's Gary. Okay.
Oh wow.
Way worse.
Gary.
Yeah.
Way worse than South Bend. South Bend is Notre Dame. Gary is Indiana's butthole.
Gary,
So
Awesome.
is that where
Sounds
Michael
like
Jackson, the Jacksons are from?
sounds like a
It is.
fantastic
It
place
is, right? Yep.
to live.
Stop
Gary,
being a show,
Indiana,
baby.
not
They're like people around there
It's
are
turned
like,
into a music episode.
we're going out to dinner tonight. Like, where are you going? It's like, we're going to Long John Silver's. You know, like we're living it up tonight. You know, that's what they do in Gary, Indiana.
So I had to pick him up, and when I tell you that it was not a fun drive and not a fun neighborhood, I think you guys can just kind of take my word for it that it was definitely not fun to go to Gary and pick up John L. Davis, and now to see him in the tournament doing his thing. Last year, FIU, they were, he transferred from FAU to Arkansas now, so he has smelled a lot of success in dealing with the tournament, and it's just cool to see that when you know a kid and now you see him on TV.
Smelled a lot of stuff too because he rode in a car with you for a couple hours, so.
Well,
Dun,
I was
dun,
driving
dun.
like this,
Yeah. Oh
So-
no, we got to get out of Gary.
we gotta get out of here. We gotta
Potholes,
play the basketball.
potholes.
This place sucks.
So we all have the Razorbacks in a real fight and on the basketball court. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, what do we got? We're
Yeah.
a Red Raider. What's a Red Raider? Like a dude with like a gun and a sword, like a little cowboy hat. Is that a Red Raider?
I guess.
Is that what we're doing? Because I mean, he could kill the wild pig, right? So
I got an upset though. I got the Razorback.
I don't know, man. I've seen Lion King though; those things are pretty big. Isn't that what it is? Isn't that in a Pumbaa a Razorback? I don't know. I mean, some of those shows
Close
where people
enough.
chase them. There's some of those shows where people
So,
chase them like gators and hogs and stuff.
Texas Tech's mascot, at least in the picture I'm pulling up right there, is like he's wearing a white cowboy hat, and it does look like some kind of red devilish character. He's got a big belt buckle and a white cowboy hat.
Yeah,
So
he's
yeah,
got the
I'm
buckle.
still going.
Does he have a
I'm
weapon?
going
Does he have
Razorback.
a weapon? Does he have a weapon?
I don't see a weapon. No, I
Okay.
see some big
Okay.
gloves that would make it hard
no
to
master
You know what?
get a hold of anything.
You know what? Just to level the playing field, if a team has a human mascot, they do not get to use a weapon. They're just can only use their fists. So
Yeah.
Razorback kills
Razorback.
the Red Raider.
So that's all of Thursday's games. They're kind of ho-hum to me, honestly. Now we get into some really, really freaking good matchups.
Florida, Maryland's the best on Thursday to me.
Yeah. Now we're into Friday. So tomorrow we have Ole Miss and Michigan State. And again, my pick to click, Izzo. Now, I will say, I saw an interview where once they won and they said, all right, you ready for Ole Miss? And the look on his face, because he knows the coach over there, he was like, oh, he went from like celebrating. It was just after their win. He went from celebrating, Tom Izzo did, to like a panic. And that speaks volumes about Ole Miss. Now, they were only 24-11, which is good enough for 8th in the SEC. Right. But here they are.
It's the SEC, man. What are you going to do, dude?
Heard that conference is okay.
In their last 10. Ole Miss is 5-5 in their last 10 games.
Like, but hey, Auburn as well. They didn't finish too strong. I mean, they lost. They lost in the tournament. They lost to, I think, Florida. Lost to
Ole Miss.
Alabama.
Lost to Auburn twice, and one was really bad. They lost.
One of them was like 18 points or something.
Yeah, they lost by 20 to Florida.
Oh, okay.
They lost at Vanderbilt. I mean, okay, away on the road, I guess. They lost to Mississippi State. They just don't have that great of a resume.
Yeah, they're on Missouri. A run too. They're not like we belong. We are proving that we can hang, is the way I look at it. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they can't just flat out beat anybody they play. I just don't know if I'm kind of with Adam. I don't think I can go against Michigan State on this one. I mean, I have Michigan State advancing in my own bracket, so I'm not going to change it to look cool on the podcast.
Same.
So we all are in agreement. Michigan State. Okay, so now we got, what is this? We have a Spartan.
Yep.
Okay,
Now,
I've dug into this so that we don't look like
he has a
complete
weapon.
idiots.
But he has a weapon. He kind of needs to use his
All right,
weapon.
but listen, it's not going to be that much of a contest. I looked into Ole Miss just so we don't look too stupid.
The
current
basketball is the
mascot
shark.
of the University of Memphis of Mississippi, known as Ole Miss, is Tony the Land Shark, introduced in 2018.
Yes,
before Tony, they had several, most notably Colonel Reb from 79 until 03, and then there was a Black Bear from 2010 to 2017. Yeah, Colonel Reb was kind of a Yosemite Sam character.
Yeah, the Black Bear. Black Bear is so stupid. The land shark, though, that's the thing.
Yeah, the Black Bear doesn't make any sense down there.
A shark is going to eat a human on a level playing field. So the shark can't be out of water because, it can't do anything. You know, it's a land shark, but come on now. Shark has to eat a human. No, I mean, on the gore, yes, but I don't know. I think the shark eats the human. I think the shark eats the shark. Unless he can just get one jab with the sword. If he misses, it's over. You know.
Yeah.
You get one chance in life to kill a shark. If you don't kill it, the shark is definitely going to kill you.
I'm still confused on a land shark in general.
That's a Sports Idiot Nation shirt if I've ever seen one. You only get one chance in life to kill a shark.
I like it.
Yeah, love it.
People be like, right. What does that shirt mean?
Let's get one of our kids to draw that picture and put it on.
Numerically, this is the best matchup as it is number 2 seed versus number 3. And I got to give Mark Pope a ton of credit because first time at Kentucky, we know he played there, but he wasn't a difference maker when he was in college. No one thought that because of that he'd be some great coach. And they're the 3 seed, and Kentucky 6th in the SEC, playing the number 2 seed Tennessee, which Tennessee for the first time I think ever is in the Sweet 16 like 2 or 3 years in a row. First time in their history of doing that. So known as a football school, they are coming on a surge with basketball. This game
and a baseball school now. Man. They're everything school. They're everything school now. They're national champions of baseball. So hey, this one to me, I think it's plain and simple. Can we all honestly say that Kentucky beats Tennessee for a third time this season and sweeps them? Like, oh man, how are you going to beat your arch nemesis 3 times in one season? So that's my thing. I don't know if Kentucky gets it because Tennessee they already have vengeance on the mind. Again, it's that whole win and go home thing. Elite 8 staring them in the face. You know, rookie coach rookie coach versus vet. I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
I'm sticking with Tennessee too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say that.
It's hard for me to go against them. I think this is going to be one of the best games. I think Ole Miss and Michigan State is matching up. They all games look like good teams. They've made it this far, but
Friday's games are much better.
Yeah.
I know Adam is not like right in this area, but he knows how much this is almost like an in-state matchup, Kentucky versus Tennessee. At this point, you've got kind of Kentucky hates Memphis, Memphis hates Tennessee. They all 3 kind of hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they're already SEC, so like you said, they've played against each other. They've got tape on each other. Every opponent in the conference, they've got tape on against each other. So, it's definitely nerves. They've had time to really prepare. It could be a really good game.
Yeah, I don't know. I would not be surprised if Kentucky wins, but I just the sports enthusiast in me knows how hard it is to beat a team twice, 3 times. So at least in college sports. Pros, man, it's a lot different, especially the NBA. But college when you got pretty equal teams, which are Kentucky and Tennessee. So yeah, my gut says Tennessee. Now though, on the mascot side, I mean, you're a nice guy and all, but the Wildcat just ate the Volunteer alive.
Yeah, exactly. The Volunteer doesn't do anything. He
So
volunteers to get eaten.
mean, what about you? Who do you think's going to win, Tennessee or Kentucky?
I think the first team to 65 wins, and I think it is Tennessee. Their defense.
Should have said 69.
That is fair. That's fair.
Do it again. Start over.
So
who do you
think
who do you think's going to win, Kentucky or Tennessee, Adam?
I think for me it comes down to the first team who scores 6 to 8.5.
Round
68,
up.
and I'll owe you one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a T-shirt
like
too.
that.
Panama. That is
That's
a T-shirt
too.
Panama City. You can get it anywhere in Panama City.
Right.
FBI female body inspector.
All right. It is time. The Michigan Wolverines take on the Fighting TIs.
Ooh, yeah, this is a tough one. Yeah, I got to go with
8.5
Auburn.
point favorites.
Got to go with God, it scares the hell out of me. I don't know why they are an 8.5 point favorite against Michigan. Michigan is a good team. Yeah, I got to go Auburn for sure. Mascots, I mean, Tiger's going to eat a Wolverine. Now for War Eagles probably going to keep swooping down and pecking the shit out of it. And Plainsmen, I mean, a human's gonna take care of a Wolverine. So yeah, Wolverine is out on all fronts in this mascot battle. They're just too small to battle against any of one of Auburn's 8 different mascots.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
But yeah, I got to go Auburn, man. Like I said, I've got Auburn going all the way. I wouldn't be a true fan if I didn't.
I had Auburn and Michigan in mind, and so I have Auburn going as well.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have Auburn and Michigan in my bracket currently. I got that one right. I have Auburn going. We will see. I'm excited because the game doesn't start until 9 o'clock on Friday night, and I have to wake up at 5 a.m. on Saturday to drive to Cookeville for a soccer tournament, which is fantastic. Which means,
nice.
I'll probably be going to bed half drunk at 1 a.m.,
At least it'll be
fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Likely
Fantastic.
Story.
Fantastic. But it's cool, man. Cookeville's not that far. Cookeville's only about an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
All right, the last intriguing matchup. This is very intriguing to me because Purdue is the only team out of the 16 teams left in which their starting 5 has only played at their school.
Yeah,
Every single other team, when you look at their starting 5, they have players who started at other schools and transferred and whatnot. And Purdue's one out of 16. That is crazy. There's something to be said about that. And look, I'm not a Purdue guy at all. I'm more of a Purdon't. So
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there. I knew you were good. Folks, he'll be here all night, folks.
Listen, I'm funny, guys. But I just think that is an impressive thing. And shout out to Coach Painter.
Yeah,
dude,
that's
wild.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I agree. I don't know a whole lot about the coach, other than what I read of him talking about Zach Edey last year after the Grizzlies drafted him. He was talking about the process they'd gone through and how he'd had him for so many years. And I thought, yeah, that's strange, but that's a cool kind of storyline and interesting factoid to know that
all that to
Purdue's
say, I got Houston.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Probably.
me as well.
And Houston
as well. I have Houston going as well. As I think I said, in the episode last week when we were first talking, this thing kicks off. I went ahead and bit the bullet and advanced all 4 number 1 seeds. I think all 4 number 1 seeds are viable enough to make it, and I thought, why not?
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Is this the year?
And here they all still are. So.
Yeah, looks that way.
And they all look good. They're all annihilating teams. They all, oh my God, what was the first round? They beat all their teams by combined 161 to, or not 161, 200 40
Oh,
something
right,
to like 81 or something. I don't know.
So here is your Elite Eight. Okay, that
Okay.
we're thinking: Alabama, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
Duke,
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and then Michigan State, Auburn, Houston, and the eighth one, Tennessee or Kentucky. We're leaning Tennessee, I think, all three of us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going with experience, and we
Yeah.
can't kind of go against our own home state. I think they
So
try to
Yeah.
kick us
there
out.
is
And
the
They
Elite
couldn't do it,
Eight.
but they could
there's
try.
Technically,
also there's also Adam. Don't forget, you also have Dylon.
Dylon.
does he rhyme when he
Dylon.
spit, or does he spit when he rhymes?
He spit hot fire. He
Yeah,
spit hot fire.
Bad
Fire.
news, guys. I got to shut the studio down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad news.
Oh,
So you heard it
I
here
need you to go
first.
back
The
and get me
only
some cake.
upset. It looks like
I need you to get me a correctly picked Elite Eight bracket.
Yep, the only upset is Arkansas, and we've kind of discussed how it wouldn't really be that much of an upset, but that is
Yeah,
the only upset.
That's one thing that I think when this is all said and done that will be discussed with that. Once again, great tournament, lots of fun, everybody gets into it, but we really only had one buzzer beater. We really haven't had any true crazy upsets. We've had some teams that people thought were going to win that didn't win, but we haven't had that, number one seed that just struggled, the entire game and then wins it within the last minute, or there haven't been any drama. So hopefully this round starts to kind of introduce a little bit of that, because that's what March Madness is about. It's about the drama. It's about the buzzer beaters. It's about asking about which mascot would kill each other's mascot in a fight.
Exactly. And that's what we're here for at Sports Idiot Nation. Be sure to check the printful link in the show notes, and we will come back to brag how well we did with our picks on Monday. And so we will see you Monday. Okay, all you sinners, follow Sports Idiot Nation on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, and remember, the most fun way to watch us is on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when new content drops. Remember, the podcast can also be found on the usual suspects of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Always remember, don't be an idiot.
Sinner.